What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today is very special because we are checking out a brand new product from AMD. Actually, a couple new products from AMD. This is their new line of APUs, Advanced Processor Units, which means that it is a CPU with a built-in graphics solution. Actually, we're using RX Vega graphics here, which is very exciting. That means we're going to have some low-powered but pretty powerful at the same time chips that don't need a discrete GPU to run 3D applications like your favorite video games, for example. Of course, it's not going to be quite as powerful as a discrete graphics solution, but these are much more cost-effective, and we're going to take a closer look at them next week when the embargo for benchmarks actually lifts. Today, the embargo is lifting just for the unboxing, so we're going to do an unboxing because we can, not necessarily because we should. It's just an unboxing. But we'll get to talk about the SKUs that are in here, the different products, and what they're made of in just a moment here. I guess we should just sort of fire it off. We've got some multi-cam setups going on today, so we've got a top-down camera there. Let's go ahead and rip the, Velcro. Now I gotta level with you guys. I've actually already kind of unboxed this because I've already started my testing. Testing is underway for this guy. So guys, apologies in advance if you see some of the packages have already been opened. First off, we've got some nice artwork. Ryzen powers, Radeon reigns, you prevail. And it's showing us the two SKUs that are included in this package. We've got a Ryzen 5 2400G and an AMD Ryzen 3 2200G. We'll talk about the specs on those in just a moment. This is again showing you that we've got Ryzen, so we've got a Zen architecture here, 14 nanometer FinFET process with Vega graphics built right in. Now this is not to be mistaken for Ryzen 2nd generation. These are still Ryzen 1st gen chips. However, we are getting some nice features that aren't found on 1st gen Ryzen that launched last year. So for starters, this is what we've got, and let's start with this. This is a motherboard, a Gigabyte motherboard actually. I'm going to move this aside. This is the AB350N gaming Wi-Fi. Let's take a look at the board really quick. You know, I mean, they made an effort to package it in here. Let's take a look. Clearly, I've already unboxed this. This is actually the board that I used for my testing for the benchmark video you see next week. It will be featuring this board, and it's a lovely board. Lovely little mini ITX guy. It's black and red, so hopefully that's a color scheme that you're into. But we've got a Wi-Fi module. It does have Wi-Fi, which I think is very important for most mini ITX boards. There's an M.2 slot on the back, which I do appreciate. So, I mean, really, you can get a pretty darn small case to fit everything inside here with that M.2 slot and having the graphics solution built right onto the chip. You could actually have a pretty tiny little system, whether it be an HTPC or a light-powered gaming rig. Does have a full 8-pin CPU connector. That's good. Looks like you might be able to do some decent overclocking here. Looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 MOSFETs. There's a little heatsink over that, and 4 SATA ports, 4 SATA 6G ports. Little light on the fan connectors. We've got 1, 2 fan headers. Where's the second one? Second fan header right there. Could have used a couple more fan headers there, but what can you do? Rear I/O, again, we got the Wi-Fi, which is lovely, and 6 USB 3.0 ports. No Type-C or anything like that. No Type-C on the main board either. 2 DIMM slots and a full-size by 16 PCIe slot. So you can use these CPUs in tandem with a discrete GPU if you want to, and we'll talk a little bit about the possibilities there later on. But very nice motherboard. But moving on here, we have a lot more to unbox. Secondly, memory. The FlareX, the good old FlareX. FlareX is known for having extreme, solid, guaranteed compatibility with the AM4 platform. This is especially useful and important when the platform first launched last year, because there weren't a lot of memory kits that were validated to work at the rated speeds, but G.Skill brought it home with the FlareX. This is a 16 gigabyte kit, cast latency 14 and 34, 1.35 volts, and we are rocking the 3200 megahertz frequency. That is lovely, lovely. I actually, memory is not cheap these days, so I'm glad sometimes the manufacturers include it with their packages. And then we have a USB stick. These aren't quite in high demand, but a USB 2.0 AMD branded USB stick. I'm not sure if there are drivers on it. I don't think so. I think it's probably just blank. So I don't know. I can do make a bootable disk or something like that later. And then we've got the good stuff. Our main event, the Ryzen 3 2200G and 2400G Ryzen 5. I'm gonna unbox the Ryzen 3 2200G first because I actually haven't unboxed it yet. You can see that I've already broken the seal on the 2400G. This is the one that I have tested so far. And I can't say anything else about that, but stay tuned for actual benchmark. I keep saying that. I need a razor. I will be right back. I am so unprepared for this unboxing. I don't even have a razor. What am I doing? I am a professional. It's okay. And do I even own a razor? Where did the razor go? I have a saw. Okay, we're gonna use Chris's student ID. I will make sure not to show them your picture, even though you look perfectly fine. And we're gonna open it. Oh, wow, that just sliced right through there. Thank you very much, Chris. Fun fact, you can open CPU boxes with credit cards and your student ID. Multi-tool, that's technically a multi-tool. All right, so let's open up this guy. So Ryzen 3 2200G. All right, we've got a 4-core, 4-thread part here. So no SMT. Again, this is retailing, I don't know if I mentioned this, $99 US. Very attractive price point for 4 cores and 4 threads. A base and boost clock of 3.5 and 3.7 gigahertz respectively. As far as cache goes, we have 2 megabytes of L2 cache and 4 megabytes of L3 cache. And as far as the graphics solution, the 2200G is fitted with Radeon Vega 8 graphics. And the 8 also indicates the number of GPU cores. We have 8 GPU cores on this guy. On this little guy. There he is. The IHS looks pretty much identical to first-gen Ryzen chips that are already available. Alrighty. And additionally, we've got a clock speed, a graphics frequency of 1100 megahertz. And another thing is that we have an included Wraith Stealth. I think this is the Stealth. I'll put an annotation if I'm wrong. It gets confusing, but this is the little one, the little guy, little Wraith Stealth here. He's adorable. And looks exactly the same as the existing units that ship with other select Ryzen CPUs. This is not the one with the RGB ring, and it's a very important thing to point out for some of you. It does have a nice black braided cable, 4-pin PWM connector at the end, and pre-applied thermal paste. So you can choose to use that or wipe it off and use your own, up to you. But the other thing, this also brings up a good point, is that this, as well as the Ryzen 5 we're about to look at, have a 65 watt TDP. So very power efficient, and they're not going to really expel much heat, which means something like this is going to do just a fine job at cooling it. The other great thing about these APUs is that they're fully unlocked. The multiplier is fully unlocked, and you can actually overclock both the CPU and GPU portions of these units, which is fantastic. You can do that within Ryzen Master, the Ryzen Master software from AMD. I'm pretty sure you could also overclock the CPU side straight from the UEFI, like you would a traditional processor. And that's the Ryzen 3 2200G. This is going to be really great for HTPCs where gaming might not be a central focus because the graphic solution on here is not quite as powerful as the one found in the Ryzen 5 2400G, which retails for $169 US. So I'm going to go ahead and open up this guy. And I've placed the CPU back inside of the box to simulate a authentic and pure unboxing. I don't really need to check out the Wraith Spire again. And honestly, it's kind of a moot point to show the CPU here because it looks exactly the same as the one we just looked at. But let's talk about this one. What do you get for $70 more over the Ryzen 3 2200G? Well, for starters, you still have the same 4 cores, but now we've got SMT. So we're getting 8 threads, which means this is going to do a finer job at multi-threaded tasks, perhaps games that can leverage multiple cores, and maybe a bit of light encoding as well. So 4 cores, 8 threads, higher clock speeds out of the box as well, with a base and boost clock of 3.6 and 3.9 gigahertz respectively. And we've also got, again, 65 watt TDP. The graphic solution is probably the thing that's going to sell a lot of people on this as well, is that we're moving up from 8 to 11 GPU cores. So this is using Vega 11 graphics. And with that, you also get a higher clock speed on the graphics core at 1250 megahertz. And again, these are overclockable figures, guys. We can push this even further. AMD was showing us some pretty impressive numbers at their press event a few weeks back during CES. And that's it. That's the chip. I mean, you know, pairing that with a board like the one we have here, you can have a pretty compact little system. They didn't say we couldn't mount the CPU into the socket. The embargo does not specify that CPU mounting was illegal. So guys, finally, for the very first time, we're going to be able to start using the video outputs on these AM4 motherboards. All of us reviewers kind of already knew that AMD was going to release APUs for this platform, because when the AM4 boards first launched, we saw, you know, HDMI and DisplayPort outs, and since there's no integrated graphics solution on the first gen Ryzen chips that launched last year, we all kind of figured, okay, they've clearly got some plans to make some APUs, and here they are, finally ready for launch. It'll be interesting come review day to see just how capable these processors are. First off, for starters, I really want to see the difference in graphical performance between the Ryzen 3 and Ryzen 5 chips here. And secondly, with GPU prices so high right now, people are going to consider buying these as a temporary stopgap for gaming purposes, mostly, I would imagine, until GPU prices come back down. But are these things going to be able to handle any sort of gaming experience at an adequate and enjoyable level in the first place? You guys will just have to wait for my review and many others coming soon. And yeah, very exciting stuff. I love APUs. I love small form factor mini ITX builds, as most of you guys know. So rest assured, we will be doing some major testing with these, some overclocking with these, and definitely some builds as well. So stay tuned for all that, guys. That's going to pretty much wrap it up. That's all I can really say. AMD will cut me off there. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, toss me a like on it. I do appreciate it, and it does help me a lot. Let me know what you think of these APUs in the comments below, what your expectations are, what you think of the price points. Again, $99 and $169 for the Ryzen 3 and 5 chips respectively. And that is pretty much a wrap for now, guys. So thank you very blah. So thank you very much for watching. Have a good one, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Unbox natin. Okay, so pag-open natin ng box, meron ditong isang lalagyan. So malamang ito yung case niya. Tingnan natin. Yup, ito yung jelly case niya, guys. So nasa kulay itim siya. Transparent na kulay. Yan. Ito yung gusto ko sa Xiaomi. Palagi silang may kasama. Hindi naman palagi, pero kadalasan ng mga phones nila ngayon, kapag binili mo, kadalasan na may kasamang jelly case. So pwede mo na agad gamitin yung phone na hindi pa bumibili ng case hanggat makabili ka ng case na gusto mo. Diyan din yung paperworks. Tabi muna natin yan. At ito yung Redmi Note 7. Pili natin, guys. At na-excite talaga ako sa phone na to. Ito siya. Ang kulay niya ay itim. So black version yung nasa atin ngayon. And dual camera setup. Pero bago natin puntahan yung specs, tapusin muna natin yung pag-unbox. Tabi muna natin to. Siyempre, hindi mawala yung USB Type-C cable at yung kanyang power brick. Okay, at yan, guys, yung lahat ng laman ng box. So, ulitin natin, jelly case, manual, power brick, USB Type-C cable, at siyempre ating Redmi Note 7. Okay, so bago natin to buksan at i-test, dito muna tayo sa specification. So, sa display, meron siyang 1080p by 2340 pixels. Meron siyang Corning Gorilla Glass 5. So, expect natin na hindi kaagad magagasgas yung screen. Kahit na ilagay natin sa bulsa natin na merong coins or susi. Meron siyang Qualcomm Snapdragon 660 or 660 na sobrang decent at sobrang bilis para sa isang mid-range phone. Hindi na tayo papahiya doon, guys, kasi ngayon 625 na na-review natin before. Nakakapaglaro na tayo ng high-end games. Paano pa kaya dito? So, tatlo yung variant na, guys. Meron siyang 64GB internal storage, 4 or 6 GB of RAM. At itong gamit natin, 32GB, 3GB of RAM. At kaya nyo humawak ng hanggang 256GB ng microSD. Okay, pagdating naman sa battery, guys, meron siyang 4,000 mAh na battery. So, kombinasyon ng malaking battery at saka ng 660 na napakatipid sa battery, expect natin na talagang magtatagal yung phone na to ng higit sa isang araw. At panghuli, yung pinaka-highlight ng phone na to, meron siyang 48 megapixels, 1.8 aperture, at yung kanyang isa pang camera sa likod, meron siyang 5 megapixel, 2.4 aperture depth sensor. At sa harap, yung kanyang selfie camera ay 13 megapixels. Pareha silang capable ng 1080p sa video, pero yung sa likod, hindi lang 30 frames per second ang kaya din yan ng 60 at saka 120 frames per second. Okay, so yun yung specification guys. So, bigyan ko muna kayo ng konting feedback sa feel ng phone na to pag hawak mo. Ang nipis niya guys. Andito na yung jelly case pero ang nipis niya. Sobrang gaan din kahit na 4,000 mAh yung battery niya. At dito sa taas, meron siyang headphone jack. Meron din siyang IR blaster para maging remote natin to. Classic Xiaomi. Meron din siyang dual speaker guys. May speaker siya dito sa taas. Meron din siyang speaker sa ilalim ng body. At baka may tanong nyo, meron ba siyang notch? Meron siyang notch, pero titingnan natin mamaya kung gaano kalaki yung notch niya. Okay, so ngayon, tanggalin natin tong protection niya sa harap, tapos i-on natin. Okay, so ngayon, try natin i-on. Yun, so out of the box, naka-MIUI 10 na tayo agad. So ito yung latest na skin ng Xiaomi on top of Android. Okay, so fully set up na tayo guys. So ito itsura niya pagdating natin sa home screen. So doon tayo sa pinaka-importante guys, no? So iti-test natin ngayon itong phone na to sa gaming. Pangalawa, iti-test natin yung kanyang camera. At panghuli, yung kanyang overall performance. Okay, dun muna tayo sa gaming performance guys. So pagdating sa games, syempre China ROM to, so kailangan ko mag-install ng Play Store manually. So pag-install ko, dinownload natin yung Asphalt 8 para matest natin ang gaming performance ito. So wala akong naging problem, walang frame drops na nangyari habang naglalaro ako, tuloy-tuloy lang. At ang maganda dyan guys, dahil teardrop notch yung gamit niya or water drop notch, hindi siya nakakaharang sa nilalaro natin. So kung gaming talaga yung concern nyo sa phone na to, wala kayong magiging problema guys. Maximum settings, Asphalt 8, walang frame drops. Kung yung 625 na-deliver niya na maayos ng Asphalt at iba pang games na mabigat, ito pa kaya. Okay, pangalawa.